Okay. This meeting is being held in accordance. Everybody's here for what do we got? It's exciting tonight. We've got the engineering reports. I'm sure you guys are all here for, right? That's why you guys came. Engineering reports. We've got some resignations of the Environmental Commission. You guys are all here to celebrate that, right? Some big news. Okay, jokes aside. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice this meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of it may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975 C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Notice to members of the governing body and borough staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of borough business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Connolly.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Present.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Andrew, can you please lead us in the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Grant us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Give us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So while we have everybody here, we have a couple proclamations and presentations. Just real quick, is anybody from Casa of Union County here today? Yes. Okay, great. I want to start off with you guys real quick if you want to come up. How you guys doing? So come on up. Come on. Okay. All right. So if anybody noticed, this might not be on, right? Yeah. Make it work. Okay, so I wanted to start off. For those of you who have driven by the library recently, you notice we have a bunch of flags up this year, and it's to bring some recognition to the important work that CASA does. And I am not going to talk much about it because I'm sure one of you guys can speak much more eloquently, but I'd love to have one of you ladies come up and speak a little bit about what you guys are doing and the importance of this month.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Signorello and the Council for helping Casa of Union County bring awareness and needs to our local youth involved in child welfare system. Since CASA began, it has trained over 600 community volunteers to advocate for nearly 1,000 child victims, ensuring needs are met and their best interests are protected. Today, there are 1,468 youths involved in the local welfare system with no fault of their own. It is crucial that they know that we have our backs and that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and each day and every day they're in our minds. On behalf of our colleagues on the Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank CASA volunteers who are here with us tonight from Roseau Park. Thank you for the work that you do each day to advocate, to help trenches and change the child's story. Today, and all for the fellow volunteers and advocates through this county, last year, more than 7,000 volunteer hours were donated to help ensure every child has the opportunity for a safe and permanent home and chance to thrive. They are relying on us all. And for all of you, in case you haven't been in your local library for the past few days, please stop by to see the Casas for Foster Youth display to raise awareness for Child Abuse Prevention Month, the youth in the child awareness system, and the CASA work in our community. You can't miss to see a blue flags, each representing 4 children in foster care, abuse or neglect in the hands that most protect them and nurture them. Through this Flags for Foster Youth display throughout the county, we are seeking to raise awareness and the need for more advocates, as well to raise funds for Casa of Union County to continue and recruit and train those community volunteers. Again, thank you for Julie and Neil for coming with us today.
And just real quick, I'm not going to bore you guys to tears with the proclamation, but just as a small token of us recognizing this in Roselle Park, I want to present you guys with this. You guys are a huge ally here locally and do fantastic work, and have gotten really close to Marielle, so she will not let me go without making sure I recognize CASA. So a little something on behalf of the borough for your guys' offices. You want to take a quick picture, Chris, if you don't mind? Okay. And one other short one. Again, I'm not going to belabor it, but this month is Autism Awareness Month. Yeah, just real quick. We're going to leave this on display. We'll put this in the Anthony Signorello Youth Center, actually. But we've obviously been doing our part to make sure that we're a more inclusive borough. Proud to announce, obviously, was it this year or last year? We opened up the Sensory Friendly Playground. So doing our part to make sure that those of us with family members on the spectrum feel welcomed and embraced here in Roselle Park. So really excited to continue to contribute to that cause, and just want to make note of that for this year. With that said, we will start off. We have a bunch of folks from both high school and the rec programs. Some really good wrestlers and bowlers that we're going to recognize. Councilman Strauss, you want to come on up? No. Come on. I'm kidding. Okay. We'll start off with basketball first with Coach Winter? Yes. Okay. Go ahead. What do you think? What's up? Oh yeah, Coach Rainier, you want to come up? Sorry.
May not want the team, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to thank John and Tina Schwartz, who did a great job with the recreation. And I know we had a slow start because of the gym floor at the high school, and didn't start the season until late January, and I couldn't believe they got 10 to 12 games in. So it had to be, like I said, great job on John and Tina's job. Unfortunately, Tina Schwartz won't be here tonight because her father passed away yesterday. So, but like I said, they did a great job, and I want to commend them. So, okay.
Yes, thank you. We'd like to thank Mayor Signorello and Town Council for honoring our recreational winter sports and individual accomplishments. First, the Recreation Department would like to congratulate both the high school wrestling and bowling teams for outstanding accomplishments this year. Next, Roseau Park Recreation has long enjoyed a level of support that is unlike most other recreational departments. This support affords our youth coaches and athletes the opportunity to develop the necessary skills to compete at the high level we have for so many years. Please join us in honoring the following sports and individuals. The 2022 Roselle Park Recreational Basketball Middle School League Champions, Nets, coached by Denise Lonecker. Representing Rec Basketball, Coach Dave Gigo.
Sure. Is anybody from Coach Lonecker's team here today? No, it doesn't look like anybody's here from that team. I was going to name their team and help out because she isn't able to be here tonight, but
Yeah, name the kids.
I'll name the kids, sure. So first name is Rishi Amin, Michael Faxis, Miles Toro, Alex Mesa, Evan Torres, Josiah Matos, Sammy Hilaldarisi, Aiden Ali, and Michael Aguano.
Congratulations, Nets. The 2022 Roselle Park Recreational Basketball 4th through 5th grade league champions, Nets, coached by Dave Gago.
I'd like to call up my assistant coach because I couldn't do it without him. Alfredo Roca, please join me up here. Thanks, Coach. Now, some of our players couldn't make it here tonight as well, but of the names that are here, I'd like to bring up the following. First, Adriel Roca, please come up. Next, Sam Sanchez. Jacob Beck. Malik Gassama. Thomas Gago. Mauricio Valella. Judah Manderville. Gabe Ringler. And then unfortunately two of our players couldn't make it, Tyler Kennedy and Christian Larache.
Do you want to just take a quick group picture, guys? Squeeze in a little bit. Cool. See you guys. Congratulations. Okay, thanks. Yep.
Now we'd like to acknowledge the recreational wrestling coaches. The Central Jersey League coaches, Keith Appello, Chris Grau. Grade school league coaches, Dan Pizarro, Matt Kranicki, and Russell Benner. The girls school program, Rebecca Pizzuto. Thank you, coaches. Next, we'd like to recognize the league and state tournament place winners and champion. The 2022 Central Jersey Wrestling League Tournament 6th place finisher, Sueni Vasquez. The 2022 Central Jersey Wrestling League Tournament 6th place finisher, Hunter Morales.
Guys, come on up. You guys can go up too if you want. Bring a party up here.
Coaches, come on up.
Yeah, let's go.
That's like I look terrible. Working out.
Wrestling protesters? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
The 2022 Central Jersey Wrestling League Tournament 2nd place finisher, Hamza Kastrati. The 2022 Grade School Wrestling League Tournament 3rd place finisher and Central Jersey League Tournament champion, Anthony Molinaro. The 2022 New Jersey Wrestling Boys State Tournament qualifier, Jake Conti. The 2022 New Jersey Boys Wrestling State Tournament Qualifier, Maxwell Griffin. The 2022 Grade School in Central Jersey League Tournament Champion and Outstanding Wrestler, and New Jersey Boys Wrestling State Tournament Qualifier, Jake Apello. The 2022 New Jersey Boys Wrestling Tournament Qualifier and the 2022 New Jersey Girls Wrestling State Tournament State Champion, Lucia Ranieri.
Now, hold on. So, Coach, you get a little something extra when you're the state champ. So, we got this for you right there.
Mayor Signorello, Town Council, that concludes our honorees. Once again, thank you for all of your support of these coaches and young athletes. Thank you for having us.
Troy, you want to come up? Yeah. Let's do wrestling. We'll do wrestling first.
Okay. Okay. With the wrestling team, great job. I've been in touch all season with Coach Rooney, and I thought they did a great job this year. I was real pleased when I found out they were 5 Union County champs. I don't think I've been following wrestling for over 50 years, and I don't ever remember 5 champs in one tournament. So congratulations, great job. And next they went on to be sectional champs. Great job again. And Coach, why don't you come up?
All good, very
okay. Coach O'Leary, come on. Yeah, come on. Okay, congratulations.
You're good. All right. Coach Rooney and I get mixed up for each other every once in a while, so.
All right, so good evening, everyone. So yeah, thank you. Wanted to thank Mayor Signorello and Council tonight for honoring us once again. It's been a while since we've been here, but it's great to be back. We had this little hiatus with COVID where we didn't get to come here for honor the rec program, honor the high school program, but we also didn't really have much to be honored about. So it's great to have the support of the community, and in turn we feel like it's very important for us to reciprocate that by providing the community something to be proud of in our wrestling program, both on and off the mat. So, like Mr. Petrosky said earlier, we were section champs this year, and we felt like that was a great accomplishment for our team to come out of that hiatus with COVID and, again, represent the Cardinal and White of Roselle Park High School in a way that we felt could, make the community proud. So, without further ado, I'd like to just real briefly list a couple of our team's accomplishments before we call up the individuals. So this year we had our best finish at the Beast of the East tournament as a team, and we had our furthest advancement for our individuals in the tournament as well. We took second place in the Buccaneer Classic with 5 champions and 6 finalists. We had the most county champions of any team this year in the Union County tournament, like Joe said, with 5. We placed first in the single A division of the prestigious WSAZ tournament in West Virginia, where we had, for the first time, a champion. This year we had 2 champions. and we had 3 finalists and 6 total place winners. We placed third in the District 14 tournament with 4 champions and 6 region qualifiers. We were the 6th ranked team in Region 4, where we had 1 finalist and qualified 1 wrestler for the individual state tournament. And we finished the season as the number 4 ranked team in all of Group 1 in New Jersey. And finally, we finished the season with a 12-3 record, where we were able to capture the program's 23rd state sectional title in school history. So, I'd like to call up the wrestlers now who were, responsible for all those great accomplishments. So, I don't know if we have a special order. Is the order I sent you any chance? Okay. Before I call up the wrestlers, though, I'd like to call up a couple important people who help do so much for us behind the scenes that maybe don't get enough credit. It's our statisticians. We have 2 of them here tonight, so we're going to call them up first. We have 2 superstars here in Macy Molinaro and Madison Molinaro, so why don't you guys come up. Thank you, girls. All right, I'd like to call up next freshman Xavier Rodriguez. Sophomore Julian Alston. Sophomore Julian Marin. Sophomore Dylan George. Okay. Sophomore, he finished 3rd place in Union County tournament, was an honorable mention all conference with a season record of 16-6, Nick Torino. Another sophomore, he was a Caldwell Tournament champion, a Buccaneer Classic runner-up, a Union County champion, a District 14 champion, a Region 4 qualifier, and was first team all-conference with a season record of 28-5, John James Ranieri.
Great hair, too. Just fantastic flowing locks.
First team all-state. Junior, Tommy Jaskula. Junior, Jason Torres. Another junior, he was a Union County tournament runner-up, 5th place in the WSAZ Invitational. He was first team all-county, and with a season record of 20-8, Brandon Scott. Another junior, he was a Buccaneer Classic champion, a Union County champion, a WSAZ Invitational runner-up, a District 14 champion, a Region 4 qualifier where he took 5th place. He was a first team all-conference with a season record of 29-6, Matthew Griffin. Another junior, he was a Buccaneer Classic champion, a Union County champion, a WSAZ Invitational champion, a District 14 runner-up, and a Region 4 qualifier where he took 5th place. He was also first team all-conference with a season record of 33-6, Angel Mejia. Another junior, he was a Buccaneer Classic champion, a Union County champion, a WSAZ Invitational champion, a District 14 champion, and a Region 4 runner-up, qualifying himself for the NJSIAA state tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. He was also first team all-conference with a season record of 37-5, Mason Harms. Okay, we have our seniors now. We have 2 of the 3 here. He was a senior. He is a senior. He was a Caldwell Tournament champion, a runner-up at the Buccaneer Classic, placed 8th in the WSAZ Invitational, and was honorable mention all-conference with a season record of 21-11, Sal Randazzo. last senior. He was a Caldwell Tournament champion, a Buccaneer Classic champion, a Union County champion. He placed 7th at the WSAZ Invitational, placed 3rd in the District 14 tournament. He was a Region 4 qualifier. He was also first team all-conference, finishing the season with a 29-8 record, Julian Colon. Once again, just like to thank the community, Mayor Signorello and council, and everyone for being here tonight. Thank you.
Chris, get out of the way when you're done. Sorry. Please move for the parish.
All right.
Cool, good. We got him. Blocking off Chestnut Street, town-wide outdoor wrestling match. Let's make it happen.
Next, we're going to do the bowling team. Again, great job. I was real pleased to hear that you guys won the sectionals. I know we had you in years ago when you also won the sections, but great job and great coach.
Once again, thank you, Mayor Signorello and Borough Council for having us here tonight. Just a few accomplishments that we talked about. We were the county conference champions for the Mountain Division. We were also finished with a record of 14-2. We only lost to one team twice. The other two times we did accomplish and defeated them. Besides being the county conference champions, we were also the Group 1 sectional champions for Group North 2. And then we were finally at the end, we were also Group 1 state champions as well. So we did a triple effect. Besides all these individual accomplishments, it was the first time in Roseau Park history that the bowling team hit 1,000 in one game. And we were also named top 10 bowling teams for New Jersey by NJ.com this year. At this time, I'd like to call the individual bowlers to introduce them and talk about a few of their individual accomplishments throughout the season as well. The two people that I don't have today, I would like to just call up first, are Carly Donnelly and Alex Lee. They just couldn't make it tonight. They had other arrangements to come to. I have three freshmen that I'd like to call up one at a time. First is David Newhart. Second is Mia Luna. And the third one I'd like to call up is, besides being a freshman, he was the first person in Roseau Park history also to bowl a perfect 300 game, and also was named top freshman bowler for New Jersey, Michael Martins. Sophomores I'd like to call up Kate Nickel. Sorry, she's a junior. Another junior I'd like to call up is Brian Murray. Another junior I'd like to call up is Derek Winskowski. Derek qualified for the Union County tournament as well. Another junior I'd like to call up with finished in second team all conference as well, and that is Owen Miller. Last but not least, I'd like to call up my 4 seniors. First, Tyler Monaco. Second, Justin Lizzo. Ryan Marino. And last but not least, our captain of the team, and also he finished second county all conference, David Bermersky. I do want to backtrack a second. I do apologize. There was something I did skip when I was so excited to mention Michael Martin's 300 game. He was also named first team for all first county and all conference. Thank you very much.
I just want to say I'm very proud of you guys, but I see a lot of big guys on the bowling team, and we could use some big guys on the wrestling team. I know they might conflict, but you know, those upper weights we usually struggle with. Come on, you go out and wrestle a little bit too. Let's do both, yeah. Keep in good shape for bowling season, just saying. Lovely. All right. Congratulations. Guys, can I get a motion for a 5-minute recess?
Second.
All in favor? Guys, we're going to do the boring part of the meeting in 5 minutes, so if you want to stick around for that, great. If not, you're more than welcome to. Do I have a motion to reconvene?
So move.
Anybody want a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Cool. Okay, may I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending corrections?
So move.
Somebody's got a second.
Second.
All in favor? I know. Roll with it. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to come and speak, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Anybody? Okay, seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
Somebody's coming.
Oh, somebody's coming, okay.
I have one question.
You need to state your name and address for the record.
Alfredo Valenti, 315 West Clay Avenue.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yes.
West Clay Avenue from Fate to Locust, there hasn't been any signs for street cleaning in 21 years that I live there. And I'm wondering why, because I see the street sweeper doing a slalom going down the street.
Yeah, so I think, do you want to look into that, DPW?
Is this agenda items only?
It's agenda items only, yeah, thank you.
So you have to come back and ask the same question, okay? It's for agenda items only. Whatever on the agenda. Then come back in a couple minutes, okay?
Good catch. Okay, anybody else on agenda items? Got some interesting topics. Wide yard sale, rec fees. Okay, I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Reports of departments. Can we have Andrew, you want to start off? Yeah, you don't want to start off? All right. Ken, you want to start off?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Just as a reminder to everybody, the Homestead Rebates will be on the second quarter, your May installment. Bills are being worked on. There was a glitch with the state. So as soon as those bills are printed and ready to be mailed out, they will be sent out. But the Homestead Rebate will come off your second quarter bill. That's all I have right now, Mayor.
Thanks, Ken. We'll do Ruben. Want to come up next?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few updates on the upcoming events. This Saturday we are having borough-wide spring cleanup. We have about 14 groups participating. Boy Scouts, Knights of Columbus, Girl Scouts, Middle School Honor Society, Cassana Central Association, Cub Scouts, Sherman School PTA, Roseau Park High School, clubs, Community United Methodist Church. This is the first time they are participating. Robert Gordon School PTA also participating first time in this event. On Tuesday, April 12th, the center will be hosting the annual senior brunch from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. The event is open to seniors 55 and older. That includes live entertainment, a comedian, a singer, and a illusionist. Free brunch will be served during the event. On Saturday, April 23rd, the borough will be hosting a welcome event for new residents from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The event includes a welcome packet, a meet and greet with officials, a special library tour, and tour of Youth Center. The event also includes live music by Kyle Cancino and light refreshments. This will be a perfect opportunity for new residents to meet officials and learn more about the resources available for them. On Friday, April 29th, the borough will be celebrating Arbor Day at Sherman School at 10 a.m. The annual tree planting ceremony includes performances by the 5th grade students and the student council, the planting of rebud tree and tree seedlings distribution. Next month, the borough will be hosting the annual Memorial Day Parade service and a picnic on Monday, May 30th. The American Legion Post 60 has nominated Steve Jordan as Grand Marshal for this year's parade. Mr. Jordan was born on August 3, 1953, and was raised in Hillside, New Jersey. He served during the end of Vietnam War from 1970 to 1975. Steve was ranked E4, a petty officer, 3rd class. He earned the Navy E Award during his service. Currently, Steve resides in Elizabeth. He has 2 sons, 1 daughter, and 4 grandkids, one of which is currently serving in the Navy. Steve continues to serve locally as Vice Commander of American Legion Post 60 and for the Union County American Legion as well. He is a regional representative for military veterans and their family members. Now, for organizations who would like to participate in this event and march in the parade, we request them to call the Casano Center at 908-245-0666. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Any questions for Ruben?
Yeah, what was the date for the meet and greet for the new residents?
April 23rd.
Oh, whoops. 23rd. That's what I said too. You got a cool shirt on tonight, Ruben.
Thank you.
Excellent work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief. I didn't see you back there. Would have picked you first.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll have a few quick things. Recently in New Jersey, as well as Union County, there's been a large uptake of stolen vehicles. This month, between April 1st and April 6th, so 6 days, there's been 68 stolen cars in New Jersey. In most cases, these cars are being used in more serious crimes. One of the reasons for this is the recent change in enforcement policies from Trenton. As I've reported at previous meetings, thieves are often simply entering unlocked vehicles and utilizing key fobs left behind in the vehicles. It's an opportunistic type of crime. Please lock your vehicles and do not leave key fobs or garage door openers in unlocked cars. There's been incidents in neighboring towns. There's been incidents in Roselle Park. We are not immune to this, so please lock your cars, be vigilant. We put the posts on our police Facebook page, the 9 p.m. routine hit your key fobs, lock your cars, because we are having incidents here in Roselle Park as well, and we just want everybody to be safe and make it as difficult as possible for somebody so that they don't victimize our residents. Lastly, our department will again be hosting our Youth Academy this summer. The dates are Monday, July 25th through Friday, July 29th. Applications are available at our police department window. I'm excited to have the Youth Academy back and running. With COVID, we had to sideline it for a few years. It's a great outreach for our police department and the youth in our borough. It pays back in dividends, the response we have with the kids and what we get from them, and it's a tremendous outreach for our police department. Very happy with it. If you have any questions or concerns about that, you can feel free to contact me directly. I'd be happy to speak to you. It's 908-245-2300, and I'd be happy to speak to you about it. Mary, that concludes my report.
Any questions for the chief?
Yeah, Chief, I just want to ask, maybe it'd be a study on West Clay Avenue. Ever since they closed the Gordon Street Bridge, a lot of people have been sidelined and speeding down that street. And I had, 3 people, and they said one child was almost hit. It usually happens in between 4 and 8 p.m. There's a dance studio going on, and I mean, they're just going
in that section, like the 200 and 300 block.
Yeah,
the 200 and 300 block.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take some.
Sure,
we can take some action.
All right.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Going a little bit all over the place, but we have our new library director here. Wanted to do you want to come say a couple words, introduce yourself real quick to the community?
Well, good evening. My name is Alex Diana. I'm the new director of the library. The community has been very welcoming, and I feel very honored to be part of this community. And there is a lot of work to be done. I found a few challenges at the library that I'm trying to correct. In the meantime, we had a successful program last Saturday with the Easter Bunny. I think some of you were present. And the community seems to be very attentive to this program. And also we have a very popular program for children that is usually at 10 in the morning. Today we have about 30 kids in the library. So this is guiding us to divide the groups, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, because it gets a little bit chaotic. And that way we try to find a way to control it, and also to give preference to Roselle Park residents. A lot of these patrons are coming from surrounding towns, and sometimes that creates a little bit of conflict. So we're going to give, like I said, preference to Roselle Park residents, and then after that, everybody has to be in a waiting list. So as right now, for a week and a half, it's not so bad.
No, we're excited to have you. Welcome, Alex, and I'm sure we'll be in constant communication. And yeah.
Oh, also one more thing. I've been working with, been talking to the youth center and the senior center. We are going to give out iPads that was given to us at the library for health, telehealth.
Okay.
And they're going to have those iPads for patrons that might need it.
Okay.
And that would be for about 5 months for them to be able to use it.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Aboard.
Welcome.
Thank
Coach Ranieri, come up. Lots of FaceTime tonight. You running for office?
I would like to thank Mayor Signorello and Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. First, the Recreation Department would like to offer Tina Schwerz and her family our condolences on the recent loss of her father. He was a great man. The goal of the Roseau Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of the department's effort to meet these needs and expand community services, our department provides a wide range of programs. We recently hosted the Roseau Park basketball end of the year party. This was a great event. The Recreation Committee hosted the Bunny Trail Easter event at the Roseau Park Veterans Memorial Library. This event was extremely successful. I'd be remiss to not recognize Tina Schwerz, Recreation Committee, Kit Rubino, and the library staff for their commitment to the youth of Roselle Park. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 380 members in our homework club, aftercare, transportation, and recreational sports and activities. Recreational sports and activities. The girls volleyball, coached by Dennis Dagunis, has 17 members practicing 1 time per week. 28 high school members practicing 1 time per week. Spring wrestling, rec wrestling clinics coached by Troy McDermott, Bob Appello, and Craig Montgomery. 26 wrestlers practicing 1 time per week. Spring fitness coached by Leland Griffin. 17 elementary and middle school members lifting with Griff 1 time per week, and 18 high school members lifting 4 times per week. Summer rec middle school and high school boys basketball clinics. Grades 9 through 12 will start on Monday, June 27th. Grades 6 through 8 will start on Tuesday, June 28th. The Recreation Department will be hosting the following upcoming events. High school rec night on Friday, April 22nd. Elementary movie night on Saturday, April 30th. Middle school rec night on Friday, May 6th. Sponsored by the Roseau Park Diversity and Inclusion Committee. Supportive programs and recreation for inclusive needs groups. Our Roseau Park Spring event is on Saturday, April 23rd. You can find this information on our borough's website, roseaupark.net. Click Recreation. As always, you can contact the Recreation Department at recreation@roseaupark.net with any questions or concerns. Mayor Signorello and Town Council, that completes my April Recreational Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Any questions? Thanks, Coach.
Great job.
Yep.
Thank you.
Who do we got next? Rich, you come on.
Good evening, everyone. So as always, I'll start out with the construction code report. This is for March 2022. So last month we issued 208 construction permits. Total revenue through the end of March just for construction code permits was $97,600. Again, I just want to reiterate, we have a lot of large projects and I have a lot of permits in the queue that still need to be paid for. So specifically with 10 West, Westfield Avenue. Sewer connection fees year to date, $104,152.88. I collected 1/2 of the developer's fee owed to the borough from Fernmore Development. So that amount is $200,000. They owe a total of $400,000. So the second $200,000 will be collected prior to CL, or TCL in this case. Total number of uniform construction code violations is 12 for the month of March. Property maintenance. We have 6 court dispositions, 36 violations, and 6 court summonses that were issued. On the ongoing projects, a TCO has been issued. That's a temporary certificate of occupancy for 250 West Westfield Avenue. The date of that TCO is April 1st of 2020. The purpose of the TCO, or the reason why a TCO was only issued, there's outstanding engineering issues, along with the fact that at 240, they still need to complete the restaurant. The good news about that is that I just gave a partial release for the restaurant at 240 West Westfield. It's going to be an Italian restaurant, kind of like an Italian sports bar kind of concept. It's actually very nice. So they haven't picked up the permit yet, but we're moving along with that, which is kind of nice. 10 West Westfield Avenue is moving very nicely, trying to keep up with the paperwork and the due diligence and the engineering with that because it's constantly changing, constantly, you know, they'll move a wall 2 feet and I always have to get a change for that, so it's a lot of paperwork going back and forth between the design professionals in my office. There currently are no zoning completeness reviews that were completed. So we did not have we're not going to have a DRC meeting, which is scheduled for March 9th. Next month, I will most likely have 2 applications on for DRC. If I get the paperwork in on time and can do a completeness review within the proper time frames. Enforcement activities continuing. I've really turned it up as of January, specifically checking the assessor's records and checking the original assessor's records compared to the reval records. And what I've witnessed and observed is there's sometimes a discrepancy between what's on the previous records, what's on the reval records, and then I will check the zoning and building department files, and then we come to find out we don't have permits for any of the work. I'm going to give you an example of one today that I received. I received an application for an electrical permit for a new service and a sub panel. The new service was 200 amps. The sub panel was 100 amps. So right away you have to think, why are they adding a second panel? First thing I do is I go to the assessor's records. This particular structure is a one-family dwelling. It's listed as a one-family dwelling. So the permit's getting denied. I'm calling the owner tomorrow. And I've been doing this on an ongoing basis since I've been here last year, and I've been picking up more and more of it. So I am going to have a discussion with our electrical inspector and just, make sure he's aware of what's going on. He's looking at it from a technical standpoint, and he's outstanding when it comes to that, but I'm looking at the zoning piece and the community and the impact to the community. And that's my job, to try to address that. So, that stated, if anybody has any questions.
How's it been going with the empty storefront process?
Moving along.
Good.
Very nicely.
Yeah, cool.
Nicole's been doing outstanding.
Yeah, no doubt. So they went out. I know we've gotten a little bit of noise back and forth, but have we seen any pay their first registration fees or?
Many.
Okay, good.
Yeah, many. I believe she did issue 4 summonses though for ones that didn't.
Okay. So be it then.
She'll be visiting the judge.
Yeah. So be it. Okay, cool. Any further
Rich,
questions?
thanks for the standpipe system at 10 Westfield Ave.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Rich, I got a quick question. The Italian restaurant that you said is coming to Westfield Ave, can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Is it owned by the developer? Is it the developer's own, or is it a chain restaurant, liquor license?
No, it's not a chain.
Okay.
Currently, it's the developer that's the owner of the restaurant. The developer holds a liquor license.
Okay.
So I'm kind of familiar with this because I've dealt with it in the past. Sometimes the developer, what they'll do is they'll lease out the restaurant to an operator. And then, and Andrew can elaborate more on this than I can, on the state liquor license laws, as of about, I'm going to say it was like about 10 or 12 years ago, Andrew, if I remember correctly, you're allowed to lease a license. And generally those licenses are leased at a monthly rent, if you want to call it, and then a percentage of the gross of the liquor sales. So I'm familiar with one, I won't say the business, and it's not in Roseau Park. The lessee was paying $3,000 a month, and then the owner of the license was also receiving about 30% of the gross profit for the liquor sales. So naturally, when you went to this restaurant, if you order a glass of wine, it was $14.
Yes.
So, but it's actually a very nice layout. Feel free to come upstairs. I'll show you the plans.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Cool.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks.
John? Come on, girl.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, Borough officials. So over the last few weeks or month, there's been a lot of progress and coordination with some of the local utilities that are doing work in and around the borough. As you know, that's been an ongoing thing for quite some time now. So progress is being made. There are some sections of town that they are only just getting to the service lines to the individual homes, but the mains and the roads are done. Other areas, they're just starting in on the mains, and other areas, they've more or less wrapped up, so they're looking to start in a few months the road restoration work. So there's been some coordination to try to make that as painless as possible, but there is going to be some work commencing in the future months for some of these roads to finally get restored. And we're coordinating with South Jersey Industries, or Elizabethtown Gas, as they're also known as, and American Water. So that's an ongoing thing, and I've been intermittently meeting with borough officials and some of you to discuss some of this progress as it's ongoing. There's also been some coordination with working with the Public Works Department and some other contractors to do some emergency repair work with regard to some of the sewer lateral issues we're having in and around town. There are, as you know, a lot of clay pipes that are over 100 years old, and they're not the most waterproofed type pipes that we would use today. So they've met their life expectancy, and there's occasionally a need for an emergency repair. And we are being as responsive as possible to some of these inquiries as they arise. Luckily, it's not too frequent, but when they do occur, it's kind of a stop what you're doing and respond now type situation. So the Public Works Department has been excellent at being responsive to these. I've been brought into the loop on occasion to look and chime in as necessary, and we're doing what we can to work with the residents, and when they retain private plumbers, to try to figure out what the problems are, and there's also some discussions with regard to who's the responsible party on occasion with these matters. Which brings me to the next topic of ordinance updates, which has been something we've talked about periodically, and we have a rough draft floating around, and it's just started the conversation to kind of get that up and running. Hopefully by the time we meet once again, we'll have something to discuss and more formally, and have maybe a first reading so that we could take care of some of the little discrepancies we have in the ordinance. Just not to bore you with the details, but some of it has to do with the maintenance and restoration of sidewalk, curbs, the roads, utilities, tree maintenance, things blocking sight triangles, all kinds of stuff. And there are certain sections in the code where you would think it would be, and it's not really talked about there, but it's mentioned over here, so it's kind of peppered all over the place. And so in order to provide a little more of a consistent and current regulation with a little bit of common sense applied, that's what the objective is, to arrive at that point. Even some of the language that's in the ordinance is a little archaic and unclear, both to people who are professionals today and the layman. So to just use English rather than however attorneys may have explained it back in 1950 is what, just what we're looking to do in upgrading some of that ordinance. So that's a handful of chapters being touched there. There's also a handful of land use board applications that are on. We had 3 on the agenda last month. A few more coming up for this month. As Richard mentioned, we're not going to have a workshop meeting, TRC rather. So it's there's a good backlog. There's a couple of resolution compliance items that have to be cranked out, but we're handling it quite well, and we're hoping to just continue working with developers and applicants and keeping everyone in the know on how we're advancing everything. So that's pretty much it. And I'm also working with Public Works on some inlet issues we're having, or catch basins. Some of them are in pretty shoddy shape. Some walls are looking a little rough and need some love, need some repair, a little brickwork, a little parging as they call it. And we're looking to get more bang for our buck in trying to retain some of our go-to contractors to do work rather than one at a time, make a full day of it, so it's a little more cost effective. And so those are just some of the handful of things that we're trying to do.
Great. Any questions for John?
No, but I want to pay you a compliment. In the last 4 months that you've been here, you've really tackled a lot, and you're working, collaborating with all of the officials, Andrew, DPW. I appreciate that. You're looking, you're cracking on the ordinances and resolutions and looking at the code. Definitely long overdue, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank
Have a good night.
Paul, last and final. Come on down.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents of Roseau Park. I'm going to start off with parks. I met with the rep from General Recreations on March 18th. We've been back and forth several times. We walked through both parks on that date. Acker Park needs a little more work than Aldine. There are things at Acker Park like miscellaneous platforms on the play sets that need to be replaced. New seesaw, a few swings that are getting old that need replacement in the future, but we're going to look into doing it sooner than later. And that spring rider, that frog that's missing on at Acker Park. Aldine has quite a few less. There's a tire swing that needs to be replaced and also a swing rider. At Aldine Park, that the Little People Playhouse is in total disrepair. It needs to be removed.
Yep.
That is on my list of items to tackle very soon. Pieces of wood are just flying all over the park. So we are going to get that moved soon. Last night, I had a meeting along with Councilwoman Belomo with the Environmental Commission. Some of the items we talked about is they're obviously getting ramped up to get their planting season going. They requested the water to be turned on, some more assistance with removal of debris. Some of the items, well, one of the other items that were talked about that we started today was removing the stakes from the new trees along Chestnut Street and Clay Avenue. Once the trees have been there for a year, these stakes can be removed, and those trees have exceeded that time. Stormwater catch basins, typical cleanup prior to heavy storms. We try to clean the tops of them. There are a few that we need to remove the tops and get into. We will tackle that. John went over some of the sanitary sewer jobs we've had as of late. For the most part, though, it has really calmed down considering what I went through the first couple months I was here. But it has quieted down. The big ticket item is burrow trees right now. We've had quite an influx of requests to prune, clean up, and/or remove trees along the curbs. So those requests are being looked at. Mike Stone and I, our tree shade operator, and I are going out to each address and analyzing and assessing what needs to be done with these trees. We request that the homeowners be patient because we are getting to them. If a tree does present a safety hazard, it will be addressed sooner, but you have to present it that way. There's been some other trees that have been brought to our attention that homeowners are tackling on their own, where they're starting to cut down barrel trees or prune barrel trees. This, I believe, based on our ordinance, is illegal. Am I correct, Andrew? Correct. Okay. That's stated in Chapter 26 of the Municipal Code. So there is a section in there. There are penalties and fines along with touching a barrel tree. So I advise that if one of your trees needs to be addressed, to call the DPW at 908-245-7676, and we will assist you with it. Curbs, painting curbs. We will, weather permitting, we will start painting curbs within hopefully the end of next week or the following week. And we are going to focus on Chestnut first and foremost. Equipment. Camera truck is on its way back. There's nothing really wrong with it. The actual camera truck itself, the little camera on wheels, needs a little bit of maintenance, but nothing major. They said they're waiting for a part to come in. I spoke to the mechanic yesterday. It's just on back order. Tractor for cutting the grass at the basin and some of the other properties is repaired and ready to be returned to us. So that should be back to us soon. Garbage recycling, vegetation and bulk. Recycling schedule for April is as follows. Recycling's every Tuesday. Commingling paper products are on April 19th of this month. Bottles, cans, plastics are scheduled for the 12th and 26th. Vegetation pickup is every Thursday on the east side and every Friday on the west side. That concludes my report. I actually have one other comment, sorry. Mr. Valente, you can stay. If there is an issue with the sweeper, you can call our department and we'll address it.
My wife's tried a whole bunch of times and she can't even get it.
Can we just talk offline about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, I'm just letting them know we can.
Yeah, can we just, after this, why don't you just guys go powwow? Got it. Any other questions for?
Yeah, so, I forgot. Thank you about addressing the tree. So just to be clear, if I heard it and I understand, that if you have as a borough tree in front of your house, please do not touch it. Ask to get in line and we'll try to address it. You had a tree that someone partially cut down and made it dangerous, right? Is that the way you explained to me?
That's
Superintendent? And then, because they maybe weren't an expert, or that they made the tree that could have been leaning to left or right and it could be in a vicarious position. So we had to remove it. Was this a healthy tree, to your knowledge, or?
I don't know how to, I
Okay.
can't answer that.
Okay.
But the part that's remaining seems relatively healthy.
Okay.
Although it is compromised at this point.
Okay. All right, so thank you very much.
Any further questions?
Yeah, Paul, I just want to say thank you. Between you and your DPW crew, you guys are doing a fantastic job, especially in the 5th Ward. You guys have been doing a lot on Valley Road, cleaning up on the side of the tracks along the Rawway Valley. It's been looking great. I've been getting a lot of calls from neighbors or compliments. It's really cleaned up the area. It's really improved it. And now with the sidewalk that's going there, we're seeing a lot more traffic, a lot more foot traffic there on Valley. So people are now no longer walking in the street in that portion. But I want to say thank you. Anytime I've had an issue, a problem, a resident concern, you've always been there, you picked up and you've handled. So thank you and the crew.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Have a good night. Andrew?
Thank you, Mayor. Just have a couple things. I'll try to get through them quickly. One of them, we do have some progress on some of the 2021 projects that were met with their end due to the onset of winter. So some of those will be restarting, not least of which will be of interest to everybody. And Councilwoman Bolomo, I apologize. I wanted to call you before tonight during the day today. But next Tuesday, Lot 1 will be renumbered. So we'll be closed for part of the day on Tuesday. I know we spoke, and Tuesday seemed to be the best day for businesses down there. So Tuesday, we will begin to post, or we'll start to post tomorrow to make sure that everybody's aware that Tuesday Lot 1 or portions of it will be out of commission, weather dependent, on Tuesday the 12th, so that we can renumber the lot and turn on the meters finally. Something on the agenda that I just want to make a note of on the purchasing side, 122-22 is the award of the contract to Crossroads Pavement Maintenance LLC. It's Borough Hall and OEM parking lots phase 2. That is the second phase of the Borough Hall parking lot. So everybody saw the concrete work and the ADA improvements that were done last year. This is substantially the surface of the parking lot, the exterior staircase in the rear of Borough Hall, and there's also a very large retaining wall in the back where there's a land differential that will be completely redone as part of this project. So we're hoping to kick that off very soon. On the election side, on the borough clerk side, we did have the filing deadline on Monday. As always, I say that elections are one of my favorite things they do as the borough clerk. Both parties always keep me in business. They keep my mind moving. And I don't see that ending anytime soon, but I appreciate everybody's patience and cooperation during this process. Again, I'm very passionate about elections. I'm very proud of the way Roselle Park runs the elections, operationally speaking. And something that I do want to remind all voters that are seeking to vote in the primary election is that the next deadline for the average voter is the 13th of April. That's the deadline if you are a partisanly affiliated individual, so if you're a Republican or Democrat, that is the deadline that you have to change your party affiliation to vote. If you're an unaffiliated voter, in that you are, everyone would say you're an independent, or you might consider yourself an independent, you're not affiliated with the Republican or Democratic Party, you can walk into the primary polling place on primary day and affiliate. But if you're a Republican, you can't walk in and vote as a Democrat, and if you're a Democrat, you can't walk in and vote as a Republican. So just keeping that in mind, in case you do want to change, the deadline for that is April 13th. Something I wanted to note, and I apologize, is the last thing, going back to 12222, the resolution for phase 2 of the project here at Borough Hall. It's really purchasing, not having anything to do with the project itself. But as part of our shared service agreement with Kenilworth, I just want to share with you, they recently went out to bid for bulk waste pickup. I know in Roselle Park we talk about the struggles with suburban disposal, bulk waste, vegetative waste, garbage. Why do we only get one bidder? I can attest to the fact that we went out to bid in Kenilworth for 2022 bulk waste pickup. There were 5 interested parties that picked up specs, and nobody bid. So now they're in a position where they're rebidding the contract, hopefully getting someone, and if not, having to negotiate a contract. So they're in a not great position, quite frankly, and I just wanted to share that as, I guess, misery loves company. It's part of what we deal with in the industry of the public sector and solid waste disposal. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit of information for everyone in the governing body and the public. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the reports of departments as submitted?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ooh, that was a long one. Okay, Andrew, please read ordinance number 2677 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2677 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 68, subsection 68.2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park, entitled Police Department.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2677?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance in particular? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2677?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2677?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. Is there any discussion? I guess it's already passed. All right, there's no discussion. Any in the opposed? I didn't think that was a controversial one, so we're good. Please read ordinance number 2678 by title. We good there?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2678 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 68, subsection 68.8 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park, entitled Borough-Wide Yard Sale.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2678?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this? May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2678?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2678?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Would anybody like to discuss this ordinance? I was ready for it the second time around. All right, peanut gallery.
Ready to see that?
I'm hearing no discussion. Motion to adopt ordinance number 2678. Okay, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly. Yes. Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance passes. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2679 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2679 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park, entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2679 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as April 21st, 2022?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions on the consent agenda by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 11622 is accepting the resignation of Sarah Mack from the Municipal Land Use Board. Resolution 11722 is accepting the resignation of Sarah Mack from the Environmental Commission. Resolution 11822 is appointing Mary Ann Brenner to the Roselle Park Green Team. Resolution 11922 is requesting permission from the County of Union to close Chestnut Street from Westfield Avenue to Webster Avenue on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, or Sunday, September 25th, 2022, in the event of inclement weather, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the 2022 Arts Festival. Resolution 120-22 is waiving license fees established in Section 4-10 of the Municipal Code for peddlers and artists participating in the 2022 Arts Festival. Resolution 121-22 is waiving license fees established in Section 4-10 of the Municipal Code for peddlers and artists participating in the 2022 Winter Market. Resolution 122-22 is awarding a contract to Crossroads Pavement Maintenance LLC for the project improvements to the Borough Hall and OEM parking lots Phase 2 in an amount not to exceed $219,105.75. Resolution 123-22 is urging the swift passage of S330/A3804 by the New Jersey State Legislature and signature of the same by Governor Philip D. Murphy, which shall restore the energy tax receipts to municipalities. And Resolution 124-22 is appointing Christopher Shoemaker as the Community Center Events and Activities staff. As Community Center.
I mean, that would be the German pronunciation, most likely.
That's what I'm going
So you crushed it. Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda?
Yeah, 123-22.
Yep. Anything further? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 123-22? Is
So moved.
Second.
there any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I know you touched upon it last meeting. Can you go into it just again? 123-22, this was the energy credits that were due back to the municipality. So the state had pulled in. Yeah.
Yeah, so
how much are we looking to realize from that?
So Andrew can keep me honest, but just a way of history on this is individual municipalities used to collect fees from utilities. I think we still do collect fees from some utilities, but these particular fees were pooled by the state. The idea being that the state would collect it all uniformly and then redistribute it to the municipalities. In the state's infinite wisdom, at some point they decided to direct those funds to other state projects. The passage of this bill would see those funds go back to municipal government as a form of state aid, which we haven't seen an uptick in quite a long time. I think Andrew and Ken did some back of the math calc. I think should it pass at some point this year, we'd see maybe $500,000 in aid, ballpark, with the hope of seeing somewhere to the tune of $1.1 million in run rate state aid in a given year. So, I mean, if we could do that, like we could start to, Ken's gonna like stare daggers at me, but we could start to lower municipal taxes, like period. I don't see a reason why we couldn't. You know, we've kept them relatively flat and tight over the last couple of years, but if we saw, I mean, it's like paying for a third of the police force, right? Ballpark.
I couldn't.
I think it's 3.3. I think we spent 3.3 million on there. Somebody check me.
It's significant.
Yeah, but did I dial base on any of that assessment?
Virtually correct.
Yes. Okay. Any further discussion?
Appreciate the explanation. Thank you.
Pass it. Okay, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bolomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Okay. Andrew, please read my appointments into the record. Oh, sorry. Reports and committees. We talked a lot. Jay.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Mayor. Well, good evening, Roseau Park, Mayor, and fellow colleagues. First off, regarding infrastructure, Valley Road, good news. Thank you, Andrew, for that news that I've received this evening. Will be paid next week. Just before this meeting, I met with our engineer, Councilman Large Signorello, DPW Superintendent Baiamonte, Mayor Signorello, BA Casais on roadway restoration efforts on the west end of town. Crews will be continuing to work on line replacements in some portions through the upcoming months, but we are anticipating road restorations, like the engineer said earlier, to be completed within the next few months. Looking forward to that. Local economy, environment, and clean communities. On Sunday, March 20th, Mayor Signorello and I attended the grand opening to welcome one of the borough's newest businesses, Taqueria La Casita, which translates to the Little Taco House. It's located at 314 West Webster Ave. in the former Roselle Park Deli and Grill in Tommy's Joint location. We handed out reusable bags to those attending the grand opening event and enjoyed some great tacos al pastor. I wish them luck, success, and encourage all to support our mom and pops. On Monday, March 21st, I joined Director Shaw, Councilman at Large Signorello, Council members Johnson Petrosky, and Mayor Signorello visiting all schools within the district, as well as the Veterans Memorial Library to drop off reusable cloth bags in advance of the May 4th plastic bag ban. Also spent that week visiting residents' homes who had requested bag drop-offs. The same day also marked the closing of the Gordon Street Bridge. As of now, the structure is completely down and still on track to open August of next year. And later that night, we had the Municipal Land Use Board meeting. We had 3 applications that were heard. One was for a small addition to a single-family home, one was for a property subdivision, and the other was a courtesy review of the site plan for replacement of field lights at Hermshaw Field. All applications were approved with some minor conditions from the board. As the liaison to Clean Communities, Director Shaw had reported that we have more than 150 people signing up for the spring cleanup that's scheduled for this coming Saturday, April 9th. Weather remains clear with a high in the upper 50s, meeting at the Casano Center by 9 a.m. for breakfast. Regarding education, special needs, and inclusivity, on the 24th, I attended the Special Education Parent Advisory Group meeting. Note April 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m., the school district, in concert with the Department of Recreation, will present SPRING, which stands for Supportive Programs in Recreation for Inclusive Needs Group. I'd like to thank Rec Director John Ranieri, Special Service Director Christine Cleffy, the CPAG, the Police Department, and everyone involved for coming up with this activity day and programs for the children with special needs and different abilities in our community. For more information on the event, please emailccleffy, C-L-E-F-F-I, at rpsd.org or roselleparkcpag@gmail.com. You know, over 18% of our student population has a learning disability or special needs classification, and I'm grateful for the collaboration and inclusivity. The team is really addressing the needs of our families and students, and these last couple of years, in the middle of the pandemic, between Director Ranieri at the Signorello Youth Center, the Board of Ed, the PD, Mayor Signorello, and the borough with the new sensory-friendly park, what you're doing here is, it positively improves and impacts the lives of so many in the borough, so I just want to say thank you. On that note, we know April 1st kicked off Autism Acceptance Month, and to raise awareness, the RPPD is selling special edition police badges. They're $10 each, with 100% of proceeds benefiting the Strive Autism Center at First Children's Services, located 316 West Westfield Ave. Anyone interested, please visit headquarters between Monday and Friday and ask for Officer Diaz or Detective Polakowski. Regarding Roseau Park Rails to Trails Advisory Committee, as the liaison to the borough's Rails to Trails Advisory Committee, please save the date, as we have another community event on April 23rd at 10 a.m. Our Rails to Trails Committee, Kenilworth's Rails to Trails group, and the nonprofit group Union County Connects will be meeting up with Tom Sexton, who is Northeast Regional Director for Rails to Trails Conservancy and serves on the NJ Trail Council. Will be meeting by the Rahway Valley Railroad line at Retro Fitness at 505 North Michigan Avenue, Kenilworth. It's the location by Blackbrook Park where the East Coast Greenway and 9/11 Memorial Trails meet. The groups collectively welcome government and elected officials throughout the county and here on the dais, recreation advocates and partners to attend the event, which will spotlight the proposed Rahway Valley Rail Trail. And on Saturday, May 14th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., the Rails to Trails Committee will be hosting a bike safety and skills clinic and helmet giveaway at Michael Maury Park, Gazebo Park on Chester Street. Paul Mikowitz of New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition, CyclingSavvy.org, and the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, along with Safe Kids Union County, Children's Specialized Hospital, the Brain Injury Alliance of New Jersey, the Union County Department of Youth Services, Bob's Bicycle Service, and the Roselle Park Police Department's community-oriented policing unit will be there providing educational materials, information, and giveaways for attendees. Hope you and your families can join us at these great spring events. Flyers will be out very soon. Thank you to all who've reached out to me. As you know, I always try my best to assist. I can be reached at 862-236-0019. My email is jrabine@rosellepark.net. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Signorello?
So I'm not going to try to pronounce the taco facility in Aldine, but I'm not going to.
You can do it.
But it was. I've been here a couple of times and they're pretty good. It's better than going to Taco Bell. So I wish the best for them. I'm happy for the lights that are being restored back at the high school. I think it's you know, for every, you know, the band, football, baseball, all the events. I welcome the lights coming back in the fall. I've been to the last couple of school board meetings, and I know they're working on a good budget for the borough. I'd just like to know and thank Chief McCafferty that he did it earlier today, and I checked it, the culvert downtown. We had a lot of rain today, and it was flowing nice behind the theater, and one of these days, Andrew, I'll get it right. Lot one, I get it right. Lot one, and you know, a lot of work was done last year to hopefully keep this culvert going and keep the water going from Roseau Park through Roselle and out to the Arthur Kill. I'd like to give credit to Councilwoman Palomo on, I attended the small business owners meeting last month, and I really think this could be a good thing for the community. So I'm just going to make it short and sweet because I know Councilwoman will give a report, but I think there was like 14 people there, and let's see what we could do. So, and that's the end of my report. Anybody needs me, it's 908-721-6488. J. Signorella, roseaupark.net. Hope everyone has a nice Easter next week coming up. End of my report.
Councilman Petrowski?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to send my condolences out to Mary Ann Staines' family, William Figueredo. I was involved with him in Little League when his sons and daughters played. So, Dorothy Rossman, who was a teacher at Aldine School, and Nicholas Rigulano, which is Tina Schwartz's father. So I send my condolences out to everyone. On March 21st, I handed out the bags to all the schools with the other councilmen and the mayor. March 30th, the Community Affairs and Public Events Committee met. Again, like Ruben had said, they meet the borough. We'll be at the Casano Center from 2 to 4, and refreshments and a packet will go to all new residents there. On this past Saturday, April 12th, was the Easter egg hunt. Thank you, Mayor, for showing up. It was run very well. Again, Tina does a great job, and John Ranieri, and it was a good flow of kids, and it seemed like a lot of kids did enjoy getting their picture with the Easter money, including the mayor. Okay.
Choose the right height. It's a good size Easter bunny.
Perfect.
You know.
On Monday, I attended the fire department meeting. They're getting ready for their dance, I call it, which will be the 23rd. Yeah. Okay. So that's coming up. Basically, the meeting was about they're getting ready to give a list for repairs they need to be done. Short meeting. I was in and out. For those who celebrate Easter, Happy Easter, and which is coming up a week from Sunday. I want to thank the wrestling team and bowling team for the high school, and the recreation wrestling basketball team for showing up tonight. Like I said, I didn't think they could pull it off, but they did a great job this year. They didn't start to almost the end of January, and with the problem with the gym floor at the high school, because the high school kids used the middle school, they got 10 to 12 games in, so they did a great job. So if you need to contact me, you can get me at jpetrosky at roseaupark.net, 908-666-7821, and that's my report, man.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. In response to the New Jersey legislators enacting laws governing citizens and businesses to use reusable bags while shopping in New Jersey, the borough was prompt to purchase 5,000 reusable bags for distribution through a Clean Communities grant. In fact, on March 21st, through coordinated means, which was facilitated by none other than Director Rupin Shaw, who done an outstanding job, if I may add. Overall, it brought me great pleasure being present while helping the borough with distribution means of delivering the Roseau Park reusable bags to our schools surrounding our beloved community. Additionally, I have personally made efforts to deliver these bags while walking around the First Ward. Plus, I have also taken the liberty to just deliver upon email requests to residents that live outside of my ward, because for some reason, every resident don't always know who their council representative is, and rather than go back and forth, it just makes sense just to deliver.
Maybe you're just Roselle Park's favorite councilman. Maybe
I
they
didn't
just
say
like
that.
reaching out to you, you know?
But I just took it upon myself just to deliver in the bags, in hopes to make it easier for residents to receive these reusable bags. There will be, I will continue doing this upon the next week or so. On March 28th, I had a great opportunity to meet with the Aubrey Group along with Council Member Jay Rabana, the mayor, and Andrew. Not to belabor what my colleagues have already elaborated on, I just assumed that Jay was going to elaborate on it. But all in all, this discussion helped answer many of my questions and concerns on how we can effectively utilize grant opportunities that will benefit the borough overall as a whole, and I am optimistic in seeing what we can do to achieve for the borough in the near future. As the council liaison for the as the commerce liaison for the 2022 governing body, I wanted to focus this year on an achievable endeavor that would not only connect residents and visitors with our local small businesses, but also help stimulate them at no cost as well. Thanks to the mayor and Andrew for helping to see my vision and significant importance of such a project, we had a productive meeting with Boom Local on April 1st to create a digital web-based borough business directory, in which, to my surprise, we do not currently even have a basic business directory. In fact, Mayor, if I may, I wanted to go on record, and I feel like it's necessary to say that we both never discussed this type of ideal to one another, and from my understanding, you and Andrew already had discussions regarding such a similar process prior as well. And I just wanted to state, you know, for the most part, great minds sometimes think alike. No, but just kidding, but seriously, it just makes sense that a joint and unified effort on this particular endeavor is made by both the mayor and I in regards to making this project come to fruition for the residents and small businesses within our local community. And I look forward to it.
That's gonna be good. I mean, it's also better than you doing it yourself.
And thank you for the bell out too. But it's gonna be awesome. It'll be attached to our, if I'm understanding right, Andrew, to our borough page. So.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that endeavor being complete. As a friendly reminder, the Diversity and Inclusion Committee would like to remind residents that we are having a general meeting open to the public that will be held on Wednesday, April 13th, 2022 at approximately 07:30 p.m. for all who would like to participate. The meeting location will be at the Anthony Signorello Center, which will be located on 234 Chestnut Street within the borough. At this meeting, we are looking for residents simply to share their concerns, provide feedback, or even consider volunteering for upcoming D&I events. Also, don't forget the Diversity and Inclusion Committee has partnered up with the Roseau Park Department of Recreations and present high school rec night on Friday, April 22nd, 2022. This event too will be held at the Anthony Signorello Center from 7:30 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. I would be remiss if I didn't say this. It's not in my report, but the chair, Chris Monroe, said, please invite all of the council members there. So I guess he's expecting all of you guys to attend. You guys got to take that up with the chair. There will be music, food, dancing, more. P.S. The youth must show proof of residency with a valid school or photo ID, and this event will be for 9th graders through 12th graders only. I also received emails regarding noise concerns, as I think it's a little bit early, but I'm going to have a meeting in the near future with Andrew and the chief of police regarding solutions and ideas with seeing how we can mitigate such concerns. Andrew, I just wanted to add you, inform you ahead of time that I'm going to be emailing you, because I would like to at least also put like a courtesy note on the town bulletin to advise residents just to be courteous to one another when, you know, having fun during the summer, because the summer is coming, and I'm certain that our town will receive plenty of those type of complaints or concerns.
Not a problem.
Lastly, please remember your voice matters, and as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of the residents within the borough of Roseau Park first. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@roseaupark.net, or you can call me at 908-303-1519, and Mayor, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Connolly?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, condolences to Tina's father. May he rest in peace. Also, I want to congratulate all the teams that received their awards today. Great job. It's always Roseau Parks. I hear it all the time that for a small borough, we bring big time sports. So it's a great feeling. I understand there was a dog tied up at Aldine Park today. That's maybe a little sign that we need a dog park.
Where at?
Aldine Park.
Oh, yeah.
This is supposed to be like a little bit of a joke, you know.
No, because I think we should have a dog park.
A place, and
Panther Park.
Huh?
Panther Park.
So I think the one thing that's nice, I think now that everything's cleaned up.
I want to bring this up, and I want to keep on bringing it up, you know, because it
You
needs
got
to go.
Let's go, Mikey.
Let's have this,
Put it in.
the study for maybe the Hawthorne Basin, you know, but I've been noticing it's been flooding a lot lately, and I don't know how often it's being cleaned out, but it's been a little bit more than usual. But then I found out about the grass not being cut because the apparatus was down. So I think we should actually use a portion of that, and I walked through there, and I think that'd be a great idea. You know, we have a lot of people moving in, and they're walking dogs everywhere, and it's something I think we should think about.
So, Mike, just to let you know, so the concept, although it's still a ways away, it's something that we talked about with the Aubrey Group, our hopefully soon to be grant writers. The idea would be that it'd be what's called a floodable park, right? So the central, even when we have rain, would just become sort of a pond, right? Or just that would be the flooded part. But then the outskirts would still retain, hopefully on one side at least, a soccer practice field, and then the other side would be sort of like a nature walk, potentially a dog park.
And I think that would be an excellent idea. I know it's been done in other municipalities, you know, and it's a wasted land there.
We don't have much green space. We should use it.
Absolutely. You know? And I think we should, absolutely. Also, I should have brought it up when our director Paul was here. The tunnel lighting is not working correctly, and I think we need to get that corrected.
Mike, we are aware of one light is out, and it makes a difference to one light. He is working on it, so he is aware of it.
I walked the dog through there.
It's more on the Clay Ave side than the Scene Ave side.
It's a safety issue, so I'd like to bring that up. Other than that, if anybody needs any more of the shopping bags, please contact me. Contact me at mconnelly@roseaupark.net. That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman.
Okay, the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission will be in Roseau Park. It'll be located at Michael Maury Gazebo Park on East Grant from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A date will be made available for the months of May, June, July, August, September, October, and November. Agencies on Wheels offers driver's license and real ID, license plates, non-driver identification cards, placards, registrations, and examination permits. There are limited appointments available for June and July. Please check the Borough of Roseau Park Facebook page for more information, or contact the Cassano Community Center at 908-245-0666. Keep that number. And today's turnout for the motor vehicle was good from what Rupen had shared. Roseau Park Veterans Memorial Library has a new director, Mr. Alex Dion, who has joined us from the Patterson Public Library. He brings many years of experience in the library field. And coming soon, the library will be hosting a meet and greet event for our new director, date to be determined. I would like to remind everyone that Roseau Park Veterans Memorial Library has an intern social worker, Emma Kapner, on staff and is available to all. If you need help with PAD, Medicare, housing, or other social issues, she can be reached at 908-245-2456, extension 3806. Her hours are Thursdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Additionally, if you need an important document notarized, you can meet with Miss Maria on Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's by appointment. Okay, last night on April 6th, I attended the Environmental Commission Committee meeting at the Casano Center. There's 5 garden beds available of the 29, 5 that are still available in the community garden. They're going to be on a first come, first serve, so if you're interested, don't hesitate. It's a fun way to meet your neighbors and to get involved with our community. The committee is seeking volunteers for the Shade Tree Subcommittee, the Green Team, and the Community Garden. On Saturday, April 23rd, there will be a cleanup day at the Community Garden. The times for that will be announced also on their first Facebook page. If you would like to get involved or to contact the committee to reserve your garden bed, you can go to the committee's Facebook page, Roseau Park Environmental Commission. On April 4th, the Department of Public Works Superintendent Paul Biamonte and I walked the downtown business district so we could share a vision of what we could do to brighten up the downtown area and the placement of the planters and the flowers to bring so much needed color and cheer to the street, and maybe add to begin the process of sprucing it. Thanks, Mike. Staying in communication with both Paul and our town administrator, Andrew Casais, I took a ride to White House, New Jersey, and visited a greenhouse that will help us come up with a plan to start sprucing up the aesthetic. I actually wrote that word. Of the aesthetic of Chestnut Street, and forwarded the price list. And today I talked to Andrew in reference to maybe coming up with a plan, to present. Okay, and lastly, as a small business owner, I understand how important it is to work with other small businesses in our community. Therefore, every 4th Tuesday of the month, we will be having a meeting from 7 to 8 for owners of businesses in Roseau Park to work together, support each other, and open a line of communication from the businesses to the town. Every month, the meeting will be hosted by a different business in our community. This month's meeting will be hosted by La Casa di Martino, located at 301 West Clay Avenue on the 26th of April. So if you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at jbalomo@roseaupark.net or call me on 908-514-5027, and thank you for allowing me to serve.
Thank you, Councilman. A quick request on that one. So I'm going to try and make a couple this year. Do you guys do like notes or anything from those meetings?
We haven't, but we're gonna start. We're just getting organized,
Yep.
and we're getting the word out with the businesses.
Yep.
Like at this point, I mean, it might be a nice thing down the road, like once we get organized with what we're doing.
Yeah.
With what you guys are doing, maybe do.
Yeah, if you just have any like even whatever written reports or anything, you don't have to type it in, but if there's anything that comes up, I'd be curious to just digest it. If not, I'll try and pop by a couple this year.
Right.
So, cool. I'll represent Frenchie's Bar and Grill.
Oh, I am. Through the chair, Mayor.
Yes.
Councilwoman, can you highlight, so I really think it was a good thing at the meeting. One of the businesses, and I don't remember, brought up about the I almost said 200 Club, the
Union County
Chamber of Commerce. I really thought that was really good, and I really think, and Jay, Councilman had brought it in. So I wish, can you touch on that, add it to your report, she thought it was successful, right? She said the juice was worth the squeeze, right? So she didn't say that, but she got results,
somebody
right?
that had mentioned it. I can't ad lib to what she said. Yeah. Sometimes I don't remember what I said yesterday, so to say, however, we're not looking to do anything, like a Chamber of Commerce.
No.
We're looking to be a small business alliance network where we network within each other so that this way, if there's any problems or concerns, they can come. We're not looking to be, we are,
Other people get involved
and
too.
that we can bring whatever we need to bring to the body when it needs to be brought, and we can network within each other and help each other out.
But you got results.
Support
That's-
system.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
That was informational resources with bringing in the union and chamber comes.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay, my turn. All right, so I want to first, I want to congratulate everybody who's on the ballot this year. I know it's a big year for, I believe, the Republican Committee. I think the Democratic Committee is up next year, so good luck to everybody on the ballot there. I see Mary Ann Brenner in the office. Good luck. Good to be on the ballot with you. Huh? Nobody certified yet? Potentially? Am I not allowed to share that? Oh, okay. I did I blow up your spot? Sorry about that.
It's supposed to,
Not official.
Still so much time.
Download.
Not official, but congratulations. Best of luck. Have fun. It's a blast. Congratulations on your appointment. You're on the green team too. The Environmental Commission. You're taking over right now. I also wanted to say, and I'm sure Mike will talk more about this. I know Mike's not running again this year, and you don't have to elaborate on it tonight. But Mike, and I know we've got a couple more months left of you, and I'm gonna savor those months. We tease you once in a while, but man, it's been a pleasure serving with you, buddy. You've done a great job. You've done a service to the 4th Ward. I wouldn't have been able to have done, and I think we've done a lot over the last 3 years, half of it without you, bud. And it's really been a pleasure as mayor, and we're going to miss you. Understand it's a personal decision not to run again, but it's been a pleasure. And I'm not going to steal your thunder. I was touching on the elections, and I wanted to mention that. But thank you for your service.
I'll bring that up under the next couple of meetings.
Yep. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the Board of Education and interactions with the Board of Education. So over the past couple of years, obviously we have a back and forth where we need to have a back and forth, but council's been bringing up, as well as construction, I think there's time for a need for a greater alignment with the Board of Education. Specifically, although not directly related, we have a borough-wide issue that Rich has been, partially I think discovering because we've gotten better about our enforcement, but also just because I think we have a lot of turnover in homes, to make sure that zoning requirements are met, and that we have a good back and forth, making sure that we have single-family homes are single-family homes, and we have people that are going to Roseau Park schools that live and reside in Roseau Park. So I know we're setting up a meeting to discuss just that. But the other thing that I want to talk about as mayor, because I've been seeing a lot of inbound on this, is planning for facilities for the schools. So obviously on the borough side, we've been doing a lot of investing in our facilities. I think the last piece of the puzzle for at least a while is Department of Public Works, which is another story for another day we don't need to get into. But I've been trying to keep in contact with the superintendent. And while there's a lot of nerves and concern about some of the development that's been going on in town, I actually think it's really interesting in continuing to check on this. Actually, enrollment's been down in our schools. So based on our latest census, we're, from a population perspective, at the highest population we've been since the early 90s or so on, but enrollment's actually been trending somewhat steady to slightly down over the last couple of years. But I do know, look, while I don't have any plans for any other major projects, we do have some that are in progress, a lot that predate myself. Maybe they'll have impact on the schools, maybe not. We've seen some from some of the existing developments. But the overall trend has been relatively flat. But I think what I'm concerned about and what I'm hearing a lot from our fellow citizens is, do we have the ability to actually service our children for the next 50 to 100 years. So regardless of school size, regardless of how big the school classes are, can we get Wi-Fi adequately in the buildings? You know, are our facilities used properly? Do we have enough kids, you know, playing in sports to warrant all the sports that we have? You know, are our rec facilities up to snuff? You know, we faced a situation in Anthony Signorello Youth Center where, you know, we took it over, we've improved it, right? And I'm not saying that's a long-term answer, but we want to make sure that the right hand's talking to the left hand, and we're helping each other out. But it does take, I think, in some point now that we know kind of where we're headed from a population perspective and what we've seen from early returns from some of the developments, which, you know, is an impact. What the schools have planned for the next 50 to 70 years to make sure that the students of Roselle Park are served. And I think we have some information to share, and I'm curious to see. I know that we have had early discussions about 2 years ago, and I believe that there was some facilities planning back then. I think, Joseph, you were...
It was Vision 2025.
Vision 20, yeah, so I'm curious to see. We're almost at 2025. I'm curious to see what's come out of that, because I think we can help kind of plan and help guide that based on what we have. So, with all that said, any questions, mayorsig@rosellepark.net. I think that's it. Andrew, do you want to read my appointments into the record?
Yes, Mayor. Mayoral appointments, no confirmation of council required and are effective immediately. Appointing Mary Ann Brenner of 141 Charlotte Terrace, Roselle Park, New Jersey, 07204, to the Environmental Commission to fill the unexpired term of Scarlett Gaudin, set to expire December 31st, 2022.
Okay, may I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No. You, with the bow.
Whoever's faster.
Let me go. This is my first time on cable TV. I'm sort of excited and nervous at the same time. So
Should be just name and address, please.
Michelle Arnold, 612 Sheridan Avenue, Roselle Park, New Jersey.
Thank you.
I was going to hide my face because I want to be seen in case people don't like it. So first thing, I just want to comment on this card.
Yeah.
Now, when I first got it, I saw it is the law, and I was like, well, we're all adults. Of course, we're going to bag our stuff. We've been doing it for years. So I was a little offended, but like, you don't have to yell. I'm learning, like, capital letters in bold is yelling. Like, I'm texting, you know, I'm trying to learn the new stuff, but you don't have to yell at us. We got it. We're all adults. And then two, I was just wondering how many bags, I didn't call, I guess I could have called and asked Andrew, but how many bags per household are we allowed to have? And then this top part here, it said by bagging the material, we reduce flooding, reduce litter, and promote a healthier, more sustainable environment. So I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, logically and matter of fact, these things turn into dirt. So if we literally just leave them alone, they're going to turn into dirt. So they're biodegradable and self-sustaining. So I was just wondering, what is the more sustainable use for the leaves and vegetable waste you have in mind for a healthier environment?
So I know that we do, some people do self-composting in their own home. You know, you could do that, right? Some people have a composter. I'll be honest with you, I think what's the more sustainable in the long run?
Well, yeah, what were you going to, you're saying that you want to provide a more sustainable environment. So what are you going to do with
what are you
going to do with our leaves and
it's more sustainable than throwing it out in the garbage, which some people do.
Well, if you just leave it in the backyard, it turns to dirt.
That's your prerogative. If you'd like to do that,
I'm
you
just asking because I was like, oh my God, are they going to turn it into energy? Like, are you going to put it and turn it into energy?
Where does our
I can answer that.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Green energy.
So they go up to the quarry in Springfield, and it's amazing. I snuck up there one time to see it, and it's wonderful. They turn it to dirt, and it goes. They sell in the bags or whatever, but they're turning this leaves over 12 months of the year with big bulldozers. They have them in piles, and you can see over the years, it's topsoil.
And fertilizer,
fertilizer.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I don't know what else to do. This is my first time, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Mayor, just for the record, for those of you who do want leaf bags, you can stop at the clerk's office. We give out bundles of 5, up to 5 bundles. That's 25 bags, and you can come back as many times as you'd like while supplies last.
And 2 additional notes. I promise we didn't mean to yell at anybody via the communication. That was not the intent. Go ahead.
Joe DiOrio, 824 Larch Street, and I can attest that thanks to the clerk's office and Maddie and Donna, they reminded me about the bags, and I was able to get bags to help clean the backyard of our house. So well done, everyone, whoever was involved in that.
I got to thank Robert Billa.
Robert Billa? Okay, well, thank Robert Billa. Just a comment that occurred to me while I was listening to Councilman Johnson's report. I'm wondering why Councilwoman Jody Balomo's not a part of the discussion when it comes to businesses or business directories. For someone that has decades of business experience, especially being a woman-owned business, and Councilman Signorello was at the last meeting. Thank you for being there on behalf of Frenchies, but you saw too how many women business owners there are today. So in an era of diversity and inclusion and trying to put great minds together, I would strongly ask the governing body, whoever is involved with the commercial projects, business directory, or whatever else it may be, to have someone who has the background that could add the voice of the small business community to those discussions.
Yeah, so this project's been in the works since the company, I'm blanking on the name, their first client was in Hoboken of last year, and they reached out to me summer last year. So it's been in the works for a while. We just haven't had a chance to pen it.
And I appreciate that. But you have a unique opportunity since you have someone who has hands-on experience with the small business community, in particular, the eyes and the ears of Chestnut Street, the central business district.
Yeah.
So all I ask is that you include her as part of those discussions.
Yeah.
If you want to exclude her, I don't think you want to. I think it only can add and make a better
But if I may also, the councilwoman can speak for herself. You know?
No, I'm a resident of this community and also involved with a small business.
Sure.
And when I keep hearing about small business, I said, wow, we have someone here.
No, I think that's lovely.
I'm just offering that
You know, I mean,
suggestion.
Councilwoman, if you have an issue, then feel free to speak to me about it.
I don't have an issue, but I'd love to be involved in those conversations, especially since my business has been here since 1958, you know, and I have a lot of experience. You know, I haven't been here since 1958, but I've been here since 1990.
Yeah.
So I would truly love to be a part of that.
Sure. Well,
and work with you.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, if I may,
yeah,
we're not going to blame the mayor. I'm the one that came up
there's
with
no
that.
blame.
No. I'm the one that came up with that idea, and I personally have worked with the lovely councilwoman on toys for tots and things of that nature. So there is no discrepancy here in that, and quite frankly, that's a great idea, and I'll be willing to include on the next meeting. This is just something that I was just passionate with doing, and I basically had horse blinders on when I was trying to get council and mayor to jump on board my idea. So it's
Councilman,
nothing.
there's no question about that.
Yeah,
All I'm saying is that you have an incredible resource on this board now.
Yeah.
And to use it to only make the project that you envision something even better.
Absolutely.
Great minds think alike. We have a great mind right here.
Well, listen, this great mind is welcome to be included on my end if I have a say. So
Thank you.
I think there's no discussion there.
Anything else, Joe?
I'll go over
That's
there
it.
and get a sandwich.
Thanks. Mayor, have a good evening. Council members, have a good evening. Council lady.
Council lady.
Hello, Cindy Mago, 433 Walnut.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about water, but first about the Board of Ed.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, I think that the numbers you're getting are a little bit skewed because in the past, I'd say 5 years,
Yep.
the numbers have gone down,
Met.
but it's mostly due to the pandemic. A lot of people have pulled their kids out of school.
So
Homeschool, Catholic so school,
what,
so.
I mean, long story short, I have the numbers from Pedro for the last 5 years, right? So that's all I can work on is the numbers that I have.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I would also say, and it's not even just the numbers from from overarching, right? It's also what we try to keep an eye on is the numbers from the new developments, right?
Right.
Which have been, you know, I think either at or lower than the original projections, right? Because that's what the anxiety is about, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's
absolutely.
that's the new element, right? So, but regardless, I think in a vacuum, I want to focus less on, and I'm happy to. It should be part of the discussion, and that's what we can provide as a borough. I'm sorry, I don't want to take up your time, but I'm going to be really quick because I think it's important. We should be providing as a borough our future plans for development. Oh, by the way, there aren't many beyond this, right? Like I'm kind of tapped out here. But I think we have a purview of these are the projects that we know are in progress. This is how many units are going to be there. Oh, by the way, this is how many affordable housing units are going to be there, which if you're going to see kids from, that's the most likely you're supposed to see them from, historically speaking. So I think we want to be, what we offer is a proactive view on this is what's coming from a development perspective or this is what's being built. But I think because look, 9 times out of 10, and I see this all the time, people have zero understanding that the mayor is not, I don't appoint the Board of Education. I don't go to the Board of Education. They're just like, mayor, fix it, whatever, you know. But a lot of the things that I hear when talking about the schools is less about, you know, and I'm sure there are issues with class sizes here and there, right?
I don't mean to cut you off, but
Oh.
I think you used most of my time.
Oh,
I
sorry.
just have one other
Go
thing.
ahead. Go.
before-
Use the other one. I'll
then
go
you
back
can
to it.
finish.
Go to the water. Yeah.
The water. So I had actually contacted Councilman Belomo, who also contacted
Councilwoman.
What did I say?
Man.
Councilwoman.
Councilperson.
Council lady.
Council member.
Yeah.
Council member.
Who also talked to Andrew about it. I also received one of those letters from the water company saying they were going to come out and replace my line. I know a bunch of people were freaking out on Facebook today. Jay had posted. I tried to go through that website. It doesn't explain anything. I called American Water 3 times. Finally today I did get an answer, and they said they are replacing the service line portion. I'm sorry, the utility-owned service line portion. Although the paper leads residents to believe they're replacing the customer-owned portion, because I've been told 2 different things by the company. So I don't know if you can get a more definitive answer from them, because we actually replaced our own line already, and I was just trying to make sure they're not going to come rip up my paid-for line and put their line. So
I could probably give a little bit of insight on that, but
Yeah.
I don't want to eat up. You got 40.
that was all. That was it. So you could eat up whatever you want.
So the basic, so a ton of people got this American, including myself, including the borough for some of our buildings, right? From what I can tell, the borough has all of 2 actual lead element, service lines servicing homes in Roselle Park. Both are on Galloping Hill Road. I'm not going to say who they are because I truly don't know. I just am looking at the map. Most of the ones that are by the new law it's a situation where I'm like looking at your timer. You got 15 seconds. It's gonna go
I'm
on.
not.
All right.
Go ahead.
So typically where we are as a community is either there is no lead service, right, or there is a partial lead service. Now, lead service pursuant to this law includes galvanized steel, and typically in
Not everybody knows what galvanized steel is.
I don't know either.
Okay. Cool. Engineers no longer.
It's not that
galvanized steel is?
Yeah, when he's done.
It's not the building standard that the state legislature wants right now for municipalities and local homes. So I contacted, I know Councilman Urbina reached out to me, Councilwoman Belomo reached out to me. So I reached out to one of the contacts at the one of my contacts at the water company, trying to get a more definitive timeline of, hey, can you give me some point within the next decade that you're going to do this? Because that's basically what they told everyone, including me, by the way. Like, I'm just to keep throwing that out there, and including the borough. And they don't have one, right? They don't have a pinpointable. We're going to get to all the Roselle Park services next, or we're going to get to them in 2028. There's nothing. All they're saying is that they're going to replace it, either the mains, which the mains aren't going to be lead or galvanized steel at this point. They're part of the own service line. Now, it's interesting you say that. They're also saying they're going to replace the customer service line. I'll double check and make sure I actually get on the phone and talk to somebody, but I do have in writing that they're going to replace it. Now, what that actually means in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. They did say, and it's pretty clear, that if the homeowner chooses to do it themselves, they're not going to reimburse or pay for it. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but sorry, apparently that's not happening. Sorry. But they all went out at one time. They all went out in mass. Typically what it is the water company has a PVC plastic line that leads at some point to a galvanized line that leads to a house, and inside the house is obviously the homeowners. But whatever leads up to the house, apparently, the water company is going to rectify pursuant to statute, but I'll double check and try to get that information out to everybody because it is very confusing for everybody. Including some of our road paving projects. I mean, we had conversations as early as 6 o'clock tonight, and we were talking about, can we build this in? And the answer is kind of no. So, I mean, just a heads up to all the homeowners out there, we may pave a street, and depending on the scope of work, the water company may come in. Now, we coordinated 7 ways to Sunday to make sure that we start paving roads and not having utility companies rip them up. But this is another variable that's added in at this point, and we can't stop paving streets. So look, it's confusing all around. I thought I knew, but based off what you're saying, I'm going to double confirm what I know, and I'm going to put that out. So sorry for the long-winded response.
You want a history of lead?
Your question?
Lead is like what they used in the muskets back in the Revolutionary War, lead balls or whatever were used for fishing singers. That's a lead material. And cold galvanizing is, if you see when they do a project, they do traffic lights, it's that silvery product they put on the steel to keep it weatherproof for life. Short and sweet.
And now everybody knows what galvanizing is.
It's galvanized.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Lucy Figueredo. I live at 330 Sheridan Avenue.
Yes.
So I came up here. My street was paved, and I guess they paved it and then they tore it up again.
Yeah.
Elizabethtown Gas came and they put a new meter. What I found very insulting is that whoever contracted them, they came to my house and they said, we want to put the meter. They wanted to put it on the side of my house. And I said, no, I'm going to tell you, it's my house, you're going to put it. And then they decided they're going to belittle me and speak in Portuguese and said, let's ask her for her husband, not knowing I am Portuguese. And I turned to him and said, I don't know who hired you, but you are going to put it where I want. And if you don't like it, you can go scratch. And I closed the door in his face.
Yeah.
So, honestly,
Can I get that in writing? Because we have a quarterly review with these folks.
oh, absolutely. I can
Yeah,
give that
and then
in
so if
writing,
you
too.
email me at Mayor Sig, it's always better to have a paper trail.
Not a problem.
But actually, what we learned from having this quarterly review, and I'm going to eat some of your time if you don't mind, but it's important to know. So part of the reason why we implemented this quarterly review is they pay their contractors not just based on whether or not the project gets done, but also feedback from the public. So basically, if there's issues like this, they get dinged from a comp perspective, and that seems appropriate. I mean, it's disgusting.
Right,
Yeah.
they were Portuguese contractors,
Yeah.
and they didn't realize I was Portuguese.
Yeah.
So when they asked for my husband, my husband doesn't rule my house.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's me.
Yeah.
So I really didn't care what my husband said. It was going to be put where I wanted.
I mean,
And
it's
that's what happened.
it's inappropriate on so many levels.
Exactly.
So
And-
I'd love to have that written just to provide to them as evidence,
Not a
but
problem.
if you
I
don't
will.
mind, Mayor
No,
Sig.
I will.
Yeah.
I know where you are.
I can give you a card if you like.
No, I have it. Thank you. The other thing I wanted you to know is I do live on Sheridan Avenue.
Yep.
With the schools right there.
Yep.
You guys did a great job by putting some little lines.
Yep.
People speed up and down that street.
Nah, it's bad.
It is horrible, especially in the morning when you have little kids crossing the street.
No.
People do not care. People double park, kids are crossing. I don't know how people have not gotten hit. I know you have a cop there.
Yep.
They don't care.
So I would say I live on Sherman, right, and I see the it's tight in the morning,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
I know that we do have a police officer there in the morning.
We do.
I could ask Danny, maybe we can do the chief if we can do a spurt of enforcement just to set the tone a little bit more. I think we've been hesitant to put like speed bumps or anything, and I'll tell you why. Is speed bumps just go bad super quickly, and they damage the road. Because you think about it, we get snow, and think about how much snow we've had over this past winter. The plows run right over them and just rip up the street. But I was gonna say, I'm actually surprised people are speeding though, because I gotta tell you, I can barely move there in the
Let me
morning.
tell you, I sit there.
Yeah.
I sit on my porch every day.
Yep.
And I see people speed.
Yep.
And I've actually stood there and said to people, "Really?
Yep.
I mean,
No, it's ridiculous.
it is."
It's
And and I'm going to be honest with you. People have blocked me in.
Yep.
I mean, I don't get upset. I actually tell people, if I know you can park in my driveway. I don't mind.
Sure.
It's better than double parking and people crossing and getting hit.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, that's great, but I'll talk to the chief about it, see if we can
Not
do
a problem.
something.
And I'll send you an email.
Done. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Had a long meeting tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was.
What's up? Anything? No? All right, good.
What's
All right.
up?
Yeah, may I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are. Do we have closed
No.
session? No. I thought we did for a second.
We don't.
Okay, not tonight. No matters for closed session. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
To adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.